Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. Hey, cousins, and I mean all my cousins. Whether you've been rocking with Melanin Mystery since day one, or you just stumbled into this little messy corner of the internet today, come on in, have a seat, and sit down. Let's get comfy. And to all my new listeners, you're officially part of the family now. Just know around here, we break down the wildest crimes with a little shade, a lot of side eye, and a whole lot of truth these court docs don't always say out loud. And to my day ones, y'all already know what it is. I love y'all down for continuing to ride with us. The support has been insane, and I can't thank y'all enough for showing out for the live show. So the virtual VIP is officially sold out. But don't get left out because there's still general virtual and in-person tickets still up for grabs until August 1st. So go ahead, hit up melaninmysteries.com before the doors close. Now, let's talk about Carmisha Lay. Sis met a man named Stephen Lester while he was still in prison. Like full on jumpsuit, inmate ID number, locked up, can't hug you back prison. Yeah. They spark up a little jailhouse romance, and the second he gets out, the first time they meet in person, she is all in love or whatever. And next thing you know, bam, he got her wrapped up in a whole entire murder. Girl, what? It's giving prison bay fantasy meets real life felony. It's giving bad decisions with a burner phone. It's giving you really need some new friends with a stronger Wi Fi signal because how did we get here? I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host Willie. Let's have some fun with this one.
So you trying to breathe. It's late and that damn asthma is flaring up again. You get up for a breathing treatment, your chest is tight and you wheezing. So you sit down at the table just for a minute and you nod off. Then bang, bang, bang. Closed. You jolt up, your heart is racing. You rip the tube off your face and look out the window. Men are running from your granddaughter's house. Lord, is she okay? But before you can move, you hear banging, screaming at your door. You rush over, you're shaking, and it's her, your granddaughter. She's crying and panicked. Something is wrong, very wrong. And just like that, your whole world shifts.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dive straight in this room. All right, because it's crazy, y'all. It's January 9th, 2013. It was close to midnight. Carmisha Lay had invited her sneaky link over, right? You know, they about to do their little thing. So he texted her to, let her know that he was on the way. It was supposed to be a little strip show with her and her girl, but I guess they couldn't decide on the price, which is prostitution, but I'm going to keep that to myself. So I guess they just decided that they were going to go ahead and just go with whatever vibe they're feeling, right? So I guess no money was going to get exchanged, right? So Edward Glenn comes by. It's a late night tip, so you already know the mood, right? So they in there drinking, smoking weed. They in a little bit of that nose candy and ecstasy. That's a lot of damn drugs for one night. Just throwing it out there. Gee, that's a lot. So, they having a little turn up. Nothing too crazy. One thing leads to another, and him and Carmisha, they go in the back room, and she would give him a little bit of that sloppy top, that good old head, right? Because let's be real, after all them drugs that they ingested, that girl was hot and ready like a little Caesar's pizza on a Friday night. Next thing you know, two men with red bandanas wrapped around their face run up. One um dude grabbed Carmisha by her neck, held her up against the wall, right? You know what I'm saying? But she probably was turned on after that ecstasy, right? The other man zeroed in on Ed. He hit him in the head with the gun and he demanded money from Ed. Of course, Ed didn't want no smoke, right? Ed was just trying to, get his little wang wet and have a good time. He didn't want no drama, right? So he like, look, I'm trying to leave with my life. Man, look, go ahead, get money. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? Look, if I got more money to give you, I'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? He just trying to live. So he told them that the money that he had was in his pants which was on the floor. The man holding Carmisha told the other man to shoot Ed, and he did. So one of the men took the pans and they dipped, right? So they didn't even go in the pockets. They just took the pans, right? So let's talk about Ed, right? Ed Edward Glenn Jr. was born around 1985 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, to his parents Edward Glenn Sr. and Sharia Tellis. So he had two sisters, Renee and Jaquita. He was a father of five, Edward Glenn III, Eugene, Tiana, Taya, and Tanae, right? They almost got me with the names, but I did it. I did it. He was described as one who was always
Pause for
cracking
just a
jokes.
second.
What? No, don't
Somebody
do this to me. Don't do
somebody
this to me.
somebody,
Don't do this.
asked to be in the group this morning, and they was like, one of the questions is, "What does Willie always mess up?" So, somebody said he can't say a name to save his life, but he can pronounce bacterial vaginosis just fine.
Right? Ain't that crazy? I did good on these names. I thought you were about to stop me to tell me I messed up. Okay, I'm proud of myself. See, hooked on finest work for me. So anyway, he was described as the one who was always cracking jokes. He never took nothing really known that much serious, right? And he was a provider. He took pride in being a father. He was ambitious to become an electrical engineer. And he sold a little drugs on the side, right? So he and Carmisha, they were more than just sneaky links. They were actually friends, right? So they known each other since they were teens, and they dated on and off for a few years before they finally just was like, "Look, it ain't gonna work," and that was sometime in 2010.
Okay, now Carmisha, baby girl, come on to the front, because we got some things to unpack. Now, Carmisha Sade Lay was born May 17th, 1988. Her mama, Latanya McClennan. Now, we ain't say nothing about no daddy, so do with what you will with that information, okay? Now, we don't know much about her early childhood. It's giving kept off Facebook, you feel me? But what we do know is that sis found herself wrapped up in some real street mess, gang life, and not just hanging with the wrong crowd. Mm-mm. Carmisha was affiliated with the Athens Park gang. They were an affiliate of the Bloods, I guess. So when people say she was troubled, baby, that wasn't just talk. She was about that life until that life started falling apart.
So boom, we got Ed laid out on the floor, right? We going back to the back to the drama that just unfolded, fighting for his damn life. And what does Carmisha do? Like, well, what do you think she did, right? She pulls a Casper and disappears, just like Tiffany did when somebody pulled a gun out on me. Just throw that out there, right? So, not even a pause, not you good, not a 911 call, nothing. She just dipped.
Well, I
Well,
didn't, I
actually,
didn't, I didn't, I didn't just dip. I did at least call for backup. I did call for backup at least. I
well,
had somebody check on you, make sure you was all right.
and I appreciate that, right? So, well before she left, she did shake him to see if he was awake. But the man was slumped on the floor of her bedroom, and his eye was rolling and bubbles was coming out his mouth. So, you know what I'm saying? He about to go to the upper room real soon. And then she grabbed his phone and threw on a striped sundress. Now, on the way to her granny's house, she did take the battery out of Ed's phone for some reason. Now that sounded a little bit off, ain't it? That's because something in the water ain't clean, right? And y'all about to find out. All this pops off in the middle of the night, right? Is that time? We really don't know. Know what I'm saying? That's a whole mess. Folks out here fumbling details like they rehearsing lies in the parking lot. Couldn't nobody keep their story straight to save their life. So for safety, right? Allegedly, we're just gonna say the drama jumped off somewhere between 3:30 and 5. Right? We gotta say allegedly because folk be trying to sue us. Because clearly the truth took the night off. Because everybody and their mama was lying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But folks be dropping stuff real quick when they figure out they ain't got nothing to sue for, just saying. So, Carmisha, she lived across the street from her granny, LLA. So she's over there banging and hollering on her door. Granny had already been downstairs. We said she had woken up around 3 a.m. She had asthma. Sometimes it would act up. And things where you like to act up at night when you're trying to sleep. So she had got up. She was doing a breathing treatment downstairs. She had fallen asleep at the table, but she woke up when she heard gunshots. So just like a nosy April, she peeks out the blinds. She sees two men running away from Carmisha's house. So I'm sure she's panicking, like, what's happened to my grandbaby? And before she sat back down, Carmisha's at the door hollering and screaming, so she lets her in. She's trying to figure out, what the hell's going on. It's the middle of the night, and obviously some shit done went down. So Carmisha's screaming, quote, somebody killed my friend. Now, Granny, like I said, she don't know what the hell going on, but now the whole house done woke up. So next, Carmisha tells Granny to call 911. Then she runs back across the street because she left her phone. Now, why would you go back and grab a phone? She goes back to delete text from phone. So let me cook because it's all gonna come together. So she does what she needs to do, and then she runs back across the street. So from there, Granny's standing there like, what the fuck? So she decides she's gonna go across the street and see what's what. Now, Granny walks in, she goes upstairs, and she sees Ed dead on the floor. She like, oh hell no. I don't know what Carmisha done got herself roped into, but she runs back across the street and she dials 911. But when she gets back, Carmisha gone like a thief in the night.
Okay, so the 911 call comes in at 5:21 a.m. On the call, Granny is saying that she heard shots at her granddaughter's house and that her granddaughter's boyfriend had been shot in the head and she thinks that he's dead. Rest in heaven. Granny was also raising a foster child. Her name was J- Jazz Monique, right? I did that good.
Oh,
Then
blessed Jesus. Look at you. That hooked on phonics. Yes,
look, I'm
babe.
telling you, man, it's really working, man. I'm tired of y'all folks talk about me. So look, Jazz Monique gets on the phone and says she saw two black dudes wearing all black coming into Carmisha house, but she didn't know who they were. But she thinks they had a gun, but it was dark and she really wasn't for sure.
Now let's pump the brakes real quick. Cause ain't nobody said there was anybody up in that house with Carmisha Ned. Not a soul. But Sis hits Granny's house and wakes up everybody like the damn apocalypse just hit. And then here come Jasmine loud and wrong, talking about she saw two men. But you can't tell us where they were, what they were doing, or why they was even there. Girl, what did you see? A shadow in a storyline? Be serious. You just making noise, not sense. So Officer Jeremy Winbush and his partner arrive at Granny's house at 5:23 a.m. on January 10th, 2013. He spoke with her. She told him what she told the 911 dispatcher about the shooting. She said it all happened around 5:15 a.m. Now, Officer Winbush goes over to the house, and once inside, he reported a heavy-set black man laying on the floor and bleeding from a gunshot wound. He wasn't breathing. He had on no pants, no underwear, no shoes. However, he did have on a pair of socks and a white t-shirt that was pulled up to his chest, and no ID. He was real comfortable.
Man, that man was just about to I had a time of his life. I know this neck. I'm mad for him, bro. Rest in heaven, young brother. They try to get a little bit of head and end up dead. That's sad. So anyway, at the scene, a cell phone was found in the purse. They also found an ID for a who? Carmisha Lay. Well, it is her house, but anyway. They also took the bedding, a pair of white Nike shoes that were in a entryway to the bedroom, a set of keys, cigarettes, and a jacket from inside the bedroom. So here's what they did find. What they did find is a loose bullet. Um, uh, okay, one, two. So here what they did find: a loose bullet under where Ed was laying, and another that went clean through the bedroom door and buried itself in the wall behind it. Right. But what they did not find, not a single shell casing, not one. And if you know anything, and when you popping off shots, them shells coming off, unless it's um a revolver, right? So not they didn't find out one. So it looked like somebody tried to clean up. You know what I'm saying, to be real slick. You know what I'm saying? Looked like the scene was somewhat staged. So they like, no, we got to make this make sense. So they were also petty and threw in that her house smelled like weed, right? But I don't think they're being petty. They just make an observation. But where the hell was Carmisha? That's the question.
Ooh, well. So Carmisha, she had skedaddled. And not just because things got hot. Sis had warrants. Word is she was already ducking a probation violation. Real casual, right? Just sad. So Carmisha thought she was slick. She was laid up at her auntie house trying to keep a low profile. Her mama, who was chilling at Granny's house, even played Uber and dropped her off. But sis clearly ain't watching enough true crime because she picked the wrong hideout. The police were on her like white on rice, no seasoning needed, and scooped her up with the quickness. Like, ma'am, you really thought that was gonna work? So they bring her down to the station for questioning. And at first, she tried to play the heck out of crazy and said she didn't even know nothing. I'm chilling in my house with my friend, aka my sneaky link, and next thing you know, boom, some niggas done busted up in my house. She like, I didn't even see their faces because they was covered with bandanas. They was like, girl, okay, so why you ain't call 911? And why you run? Sis. You want to run that by us one more time? So Carmisha, y'all know she was shooketh, right? The girl already had a warrant out for probation, and now she done got caught up in a damn murder.
So let's fill in a few gaps, right? Because I know y'all trying to figure out some stuff because we were confused our damn self, right? Right? Because hell, we got it was a hot mess, y'all. A hot mess on steroids. And we haven't even gotten to the meat of the case, right? This ain't even y'all, we haven't even got to the meat of the case, right? So Carmisha knew she had messed up at this point. She was like, okay, I gotta save my ass, and this is where she gets diarrhea of the mouth. You know what I'm saying? This is where, me, what I do my best snitching at. This is what she about to do. She tells the detectives that she and Ed, they had met when they were kids. They dated and broke up, but they would still spin a block every now and again when one of them had an itch that needed to be scratched. You know what I'm saying? But she knew who one of the dudes was. So she said she did know who one of the dudes was. Um, she had a new man, Stephen Lester, right?
Steven.
Steven. Oh.
Steven.
Well, all right. Well, look, damn it. I wasn't gonna go the whole thing without messing up. That just wouldn't be me. All right. That just
That's
wouldn't
a
be me.
classic spelling of Steven. Stephen's
No,
last
it could be
name
Stefan to
Melanin.
that. So you trying to tell me that can't be Stefan or
How how
Stefan?
how how many Steven his name no. His name is Steven. Mm-mm.
Anyway, Stephen Lester was born August 31st, 1988. We don't know much about his upbringing or background either, but we do know he was also in the Athens Park gang and he stayed in jail. Matter of fact, he had just gotten out of jail in November of 2012. Mind you, it's only January. So obviously he missing his boo thing in jail, right? That's just my observation. Stephen had been in jail for 2005 charge that he took a plea deal for. He was looking at 8 years for 2 counts of aggravated robbery for robbing folks at night point. This nigga robbing folks at night point. All right, go ahead.
So boom. Carmisha and Steven started talking while he was locked up. And you know he hit her with that classic jailhouse R&B. You the only one for me. And when I get out, it's gonna be me and you against the world. Real Usher Confessions Part 4 vibes. I know sis was putting money on his books, probably sending him little love notes and ramen noodles with heart stickers. Meanwhile, her phone bill looking like a rent payment from all them collect calls. Girl, you was out here falling in love with the inmate like it was season 4 of Love After Lockup. I just don't get it. So now that Steven was out, you know, he was short on cash and he needed come up. So he figured his baby girl would help him hit a lick. And being down for her man and all, Carmisha like, yeah, babe, I know exactly who we can set up. He a sweet lick. He always got some money. And that's how poor Ed gets roped into this mess and loses his life. Now, the plan was for Carmisha and Jasmine, Granny's foster child, to do a little strip show for Ed, but I'm not sure if Ed was just being cheap or if Carmisha's prices was too high, but anyway, they couldn't come up with an agreement on that price. So that plan was out the window. So Carmisha like, well, shoot, I'm gonna just call him over, get him naked, and then you can come and rob him. And Stephen like, bet, good looking.
So I'm thinking like, were they about to do a threesome or he really was just about to pay them to strip?
You already know how that was about to go down. She probably just told the police they was gonna strip. They was about to get in. It was prostitution, like you said.
Yeah, I knew it was. Good old
I
prostitution. You
mean,
know what I'm
what I
saying?
mean, maybe she was trying to say like 40 a piece. I heard that's the going rate these days. I don't know. Couldn't tell you that. I mean, that seems a little bit cheap to me because yeah.
So look, check this out. They asked Carmisha who the other man was. She knew him as Donkey, aka Eric McReynolds. He is also a member of the Athens Park Bloods, but she wasn't sure what rank he was. Let's mention that both Carmisha and Steven were in the same Athens Park gang, affiliate gang of the Bloods. So according to Carmisha, she was called Peaches, but she wasn't in the gang for real. She was more like a little sister. But Steven, he was an OG in the gang. She was in the sister, man. She was what they call those the one the chick in the gang that everybody be busting down.
Now, I don't know nothing about that life. I don't know.
Okay, I just know when you was in the gang, I thought you remember. So anyway, so let Kamisha tell it.
I
Huh?
caught that
What?
this week. Absolutely not. I ain't never been in no damn gang shit. I can't even fight. What you talking about?
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Y'all ain't
Okay.
about to, and I ain't trying to be funny. Y'all ain't about to jump me in trying to kill me. So mm-mm.
I never understood that. That's the dumb. Like, why I can't just pay to get in the game, right? No, y'all about to jump me. I think that's the dumbest shit in the world, man. Know what I'm saying? Like, I really do. Like, I think that. But anyway, that's
Bro, like you about to beat my ass and I can't fight back.
yes. I gotta take a to get in the game. I gotta get beat up by y'all, and I'm trying to get in the game to stop getting beat up by people.
Right?
Like,
That don't make no sense.
yeah, so look, let Kamisha tell it. While Ed was at her house, and before they got down to business, she took a shower and shot Steven a text at 3:22 a.m. And he replied back he was on the way. She then tells him to wait because she wanted to make it look good. Steven texts back, "We on deck, me and Donkey." Carmisha said, "Ain't been long enough," and she didn't want it to look like a setup, saying she would let him know when to come, right? So, I mean, everything is, gee Louise, man. How to get caught one on one. Steven tests back, "Keep your emotions in check." Carmisha claims then she changed her mind and she didn't want to go through with it anymore. And she tried to convince Steven that she and Ed were leaving so he wouldn't come. At 4 a.m., Carmisha says she told Steven that she was going to stop texting him. And shortly after that, that's when everything went down.
So now this is where things get even messier. So the phone the police found when they were backing up evidence, Carmisha had said Stephen had given her that phone, but it wasn't activated. But he did have a picture of her and Stephen as a screensaver. Okay, girl. And there was a 223 number that was saved in the phone as number one hubby. Now, the photo was dated January 5th, 2013. So this is just a few days before it all goes down. Now, Carmisha also claims that she was under the influence of drugs and alcohol when everything happened, and she was just lying to protect herself and Stephen. Now, the police were able to get phone records rather quickly in this case, and they were able to get the phone logs. It shows that Carmisha first texted the 223 number at 3:22 a.m., and that's when the conversation started. So the cops hit Carmisha with that fake understanding, like, yeah, we get it, things happen, life be lifing. And just when she probably thought she was about to walk out the front door, they was like, psych, straight to jail, ma'am. Do not pass go, do not collect a damn thing. Matter of fact, hand us some braces real quick. She was arrested for
Damn.
felony murder, tampering with evidence, and filing a whole lie of a police report. Like, sis really thought she was gonna finesse the system with a Dollar Tree alibi.
Dollar Tree.
So Carmisha is now locked up, and Steven is out doing whatever bum ass niggas do. But the police are actively on his ass, so they know who he is. And you already know they done did a background check, so they know this nigga just got out of jail 2 months ago, and now he about to get caught right back up on a murder charge.
See, I'm saying my theory is right. I really believe, and I said this before and I'll say it again, that these men really do go back to jail because they missed they got somebody in jail waiting on them. Because as bad as they make jail look, I mean, look, I've been to like county jail. I never been to like the slammer or whatever. But as bad as that was, just a city jail, I can't imagine after doing years in jail, the first to be you out for 2 months and you about to do something else to go back in. You obviously got a boo thing in there that you missed and you trying to get back to. That's just my observation. What you think?
I agree because if you telling me I gotta be around a whole bunch of bitches all day, I'm not trying to be funny, but we know everybody ain't on their hygiene. So and Khadijah tell like that shit, she like the shit stinks. The
Yeah,
food
she
is
said, yeah.
trash. I can't do what I want to do. Why the hell would I want to go back? Absolutely not. They be raping bitches. No, there's
Yeah,
I
and all you
no.
gonna be doing is scissoring. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Scissoring.
With
That's
a
it.
with somebody who funky and got BV. Oh,
Mm. Bacteria
oh god, that's gonna be
vaginosis.
my throw up. Yeah.
Bacteria vaginosis brought to you by Bucci Cat Records INC. Anyway, man, look, they didn't even have to break a sweat, right? They didn't even have to break a sweat. Old dude, right? Steven, this fool pulled up to the police station like it was career day. Talk about, I heard y'all was looking for me. Bruh, common sense been on back order for you, huh? You really just volunteered yourself into a mug shop like it's a VIP experience. Walk right in the station the day after on January 11th. That's some he want to go back to jail. He miss his Bucci cat loving. He do.
And usually this right here is why I keep a bottle on standby. But since it's early, I got my coffee and it's strong because who does that? Like, sir, this ain't the club. You don't just walk in uninvited. Talk about y'all looking for me. No, we was looking for you. We looking at you. Now we confused. Like,
So
oh
look,
Lord.
they sit Steven down and start asking him the usual questions. Where were you? Do you know Carmisha? Do you know Ed? Did you have anything to do with Ed being murdered? Steve like, yeah, I know Peaches, but nah, I don't know no Ed. And a murder? Nah, I don't know nothing about no murder. Matter of fact, I got an alibi for the evening of January 9th, 10th, and the morning of 11th. So the brother came with an alibi. He prepared. Look, and I'm gonna do you one better to prove I didn't have nothing to do with the murder. I'll let you do a DNA testing. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, this brother been doing his little research and everything like that because he like, look, I'm about to whatever y'all want, I'm willing to give y'all to prove I ain't got nothing to do with it, man. So look, detective was like, bet. Stephen allowed them to swab his hands for gunshot residue and also swab his cheek. Detectives Lucas Fuller interviewed Stephen and he would read his Miranda rights, which he waived. In the interview, Stephen says that he was with his girlfriend the night of the 9th. They like, Peaches? Yeah, we know. He like, nah. I wasn't with Peaches. I was with my girlfriend Naomi. So Peaches is a side chick.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of them.
Or one of the bitches he fucking and one or two.
One of them a side chick. They don't know. Know what I'm saying? We should come out with a show called no side chicks. Know what I'm saying? Where they got to fight, find out who the side. We'll discuss the details later. I'm thinking about coming out with a show called Side Chicks. So anyway, he said, "No, we were with his girlfriend Naomi." They like, "Who is Naomi?" He like, "Naomi, my girlfriend, right?" Like they supposed to like, "Oh, that Naomi." Oh, nigga, they don't know who Naomi is. They know who Peaches is. But anyway, Peaches is just something to do. So this is what he tells them. So he like, boom, I pulled up on my girl January 9th. Cool, right? But when they asked what time, man couldn't even give a range. Like, it was late, right? It was just late. You know, real specific. Claims they chilled, watched some TV. Then next morning, he's eating cereal. Naomi's getting dressed for work. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, right? Nothing
Man,
out of the
I'm not about to
ordinary.
be sitting here getting dressed for work and your bum ass sitting here eating up all my cereal. That's very baby boy. I can't do it.
All right, right. So then his cousin supposedly scoots him up between 3 and 4:30, which is a big window for someone who allegedly ain't doing nothing wrong. They hit up Sam's Club, then they pick up her kids. Her kids is his cousin kids from the bus stop. And then, like this is just a regular Tuesday, he slides over to another chick house he just met. So let me get this straight. You can't remember what time you got to your girlfriend's house, but you made time for cereal, Sam's Club, school buses, and Miss New Booty in the same 24 hours. Yeah, all right, buddy.
So when they asked him for more information about him and Peaches, he said that he met Peaches when he was in the Acton Park Bloods, but he wasn't active no more. And he said that he had known her about 2 or 3 years from around the way or whatever. You know, they messed around a few times, but it wasn't nothing serious. He said he knew she lived on our rear, but he reiterated he did not know it again, denied any involvement in the murder. So they're like, I see. Okay. Just sit tight for a minute. So they get the information on Naomi because did you really think they were going to take his word for it? Hell no. They bring sis in, right? And they ask her straight up, was Stephen at your house the night of the ninth? And she's sitting there twirling her little synthetic bundle like, yeah, my man was at my house. We had a good night or whatever. Girl, please. So the detectives look at her like, ma'am, cut the fairy tale. Because if you lying to protect Stephen and it turns out that he was at that woman's house of busting shots, you getting cuffed too for accessory to murder. Ooh, and cousins, when I say she folded faster than the $5 lawn chair at the family cookout, child, she said, wait, murder? Sis thought she was in the Tyler Perry love story, not an episode of Snapped, okay? And then she backtracks like, okay, look, Stephen actually came to my house early on the 10th. She said he was sweating, nervous, he was acting all weird. And he said, if the police ask me anything, just say, I've been with you since the night before. Girl, Not you trying to be his alibi after the crime, like it's a group project in jail. Now, at this point, everybody lying, everybody nervous. Steven out here playing puppet master with alibis like Build-A-Bear. System switched up her whole story in under 5 minutes, and for what? A man who ain't even gonna text her back after he get arrested?
Man, these women be really crashing out for some freaking prison wang. Prison PP. Crashing out. That's the craziest thing in the world to me, man. Anyway, at this point, Steven out here moving like a Dollar Tree James Bond. Got one chick sweating at the precinct, another one probably sitting at home still thinking she the main chick. And he the common denominator in every lie. Like my dude, you got folks risking prison time for you, and you ain't even have the decency to keep your timeline straight. Now, see, I don't know if he's guilty, but I do know you can't keep cereal, Sam Club, and a new side piece in one day and not forget something. And what did he forget? The damn story. Because lies gonna lie. But what Detective Fuller did do after speaking with Naomi was get an arrest warrant for Steven before going back in one more time to see if Steven wanted to get his facts straight, right? Detective Fuller looked like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, dog. Carmisha done already gave us your name and ID you as being in a room and telling your partner to shoot Ed. And on top of that, we saw the text messages between you and Carmisha. The nigga still lying, right? He said he's still lying. They pulled the records from the 223 number that Carmisha was texting, and they see messages between the chick Naomi, Carmisha, and other people associated with Steven. But he's still claiming that's not his phone number. Like, yeah, no, dog, that ain't me. That's somebody else text messaging them people.
Like, mm. So it was definitely a burner phone. And when they pulled the phone records, there was no subscriber named. So they also noticed the phone basically went inactive after 3:35 a.m. on January the 10th, 2013, as far as calls go. But there were literally a dozen calls made from Carmisha to that 223 number. But the code indicated that all the calls were sent to voicemail or call forwarded. Now the detective was like, well, go ahead and grab another pair. We'll make it a his and her set. And just like that, they slapped cuffs on Steven too. Matching bracelets for him and Peaches. Ain't that sweet? A couple that lies together, rides in the back of squad cars together.
Mm-hmm. Dummies. Man, look, Steven sitting in jail making collect calls like it's 2004. And the first thing he does, right? Call his mama, talk about, can you change my Facebook password and then
Wait, hold
delete
on.
the
I
whole
can just hear him on the
page?
phone. Mama.
Mama, yeah, I know, mama, I messed up, but I need you to do me a favor though. All right, I need you to do me a favor. These dudes, man. You think your mama would have did it?
First of all, I wouldn't even call my mom, okay? Like, I'm not even calling my parents if I get locked up. I'll just sit there, okay?
Let me tell you, I remember back in the day, real true story. Like my mom would never lie for us. So if I was in a house and somebody called, I would have to for usually you like, hey mom, just tell her I ain't here. I would have to leave out the house for her. My mom to say he's not here right now. She would not lie for us. So yeah, my mom was like, no, baby, you on your own. I pray for you, baby, but she ain't deleting on Facebook. I love my mama, but yeah, she ain't gonna be no accessory. But anyway,
Okay, ma.
look, y'all gonna learn one day, right? Them jail calls are recorded. Besides the fact that they got a big old sign that say jail calls are recorded, and it lets
It
you
says it
know,
when you're on the phone. This
phone,
call
this call can be recorded. Like what?
I don't
Oh
get
my
it.
goodness. At this point, he not even trying to beat the case, man. He trying to beat Facebook to delete to the delete button, man. He trying to delete Facebook. He just no, they gonna hear it. They go like, yeah, man, go pull up that dude Facebook. And just because you
And that's
delete it,
exactly what they did.
mm,
They heard that call. They ain't waste no time. They went ahead, got a warrant for his Facebook and Messenger with the quickness. They beat his mama to it. And what do they
mm.
find? A hot mess per usual. So in messages sent on January 9th, 2013, the day before everything went down, Stephen dropped that 223 number, the very one he swore up and down was not his, to not one, Not two, but three
Mm,
different people.
come on, Steven.
Sir, excuse me, my dude. How you out here passing a fake number like party flyers and then acting brand new when the heat turn up?
Please explain, please. So look, the autopsy of Ed showed that he died from a gunshot wound to the back. The entry wound was to the upper back and exited out through his chest. There was another bullet that struck his left lung and heart and punctured holes in his heart, which caused massive bleeding. This was the fatal shot. Another bullet entered through the right side of his back and it traveled. There
Start
was
with
a
the whole.
third out into the left through his rib, diaphragm, and fatty tissue around the intestines, stopping under the skin in his abdominal wall. There was a third entry wound on the right buttocks that had a slightly different trajectory than the other two wounds. They believe that this shot was fired more than 2 feet away from the victim. Ed Blood also tested positive for caffeine and weed. So I guess he didn't partake in a coke and a ecstasy. There was also a bruise on the top of the head. Remember, he did hit him with the gun. They did have 4 bullets from the scene to compare. They removed 2 from Ed's body and 2 from the scene. All 4 bullets were either from a 38 Special or 357 Magnum. The gun was never found. So Stevens' hand tested negative for gunshot residue. However, the sample was taken more than 3 hours after the shooting, and for some reason, Carmeshia was never tested for GSR, gunshot residue.
Now, while both of them are sitting in jail waiting to stand trial for a whole murder, Carmisha and Steven are still playing lovebirds through the bars, like this is Rikers Island, the romance edition. Sis out here sending Steven letters like she's starring a jailhouse soap opera talking about, baby, I just couldn't stand to see you with nobody else but me. And that's a direct quote. Girl, you couldn't stand to see him with another woman, so you handed him a felony and locked him down like he was your emotional support inmate. What in the prison possessiveness is this? So she keeps going. She says, quote, I really don't know why I did what I did to you. I know, and she spelled no, N-O. Mm-hmm. I thought it was the end of us. That you, is quote, I really don't know why I did that to you. I know, and she spelled no, N-O instead of K-N-O-W. I thought it was the end of us. That you would run off and stunt with the next bitch. Really? But it's no excuse for me putting you behind bars. Oh, so we're in hell, huh? So you thought he might leave you, so you filed a false report, implicated him in the murder, and helped land him in jail, and your apology is my bad. I got jealous. Ma'am. Then she hits him with the grand finale. She says, quote, I love you. I can't live without you, baby. What I did was cowardness, lies, deceitfulness, disloyalty. I was scared of losing you, baby, and I know that's no exception, but all I can say is sorry, and I'm gonna do what I have to so that I don't lose you. I will do my time alone. Sorry for taking you away from your life by putting you behind bars. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to be serious. This ain't a love letter. This is a full confession written in eyeliner and delusion. Talking about cowardness, lies, deceitfulness, and still wondering why the state want to give you 20 to life. She didn't just fumble the bag. She lit it on fire, tossed it off a cliff, and tried to blame gravity. And let's really talk about it. She didn't want to, quote, lose him to the next bitch, but now they both facing murder charges. And she's writing apology letters like she forgot to pick up milk from the store. Sis, what you did wasn't love. It was a loyalty test nobody asked for, and then you failed it miserably.
Man, so look, Steven decides he gonna write back. And let me tell you, this letter, woo! It wasn't a I love you too, baby, I forgive you moment that she was probably hoping for. Nah, this man hit her with a whole wannabe hood TED talk. Now brace yourself, because this is what he actually said, right? And I quote: "In our situation, the Este Criminal Enterprise is the hood, Athens Park. Do you understand so far, sweetheart? Okay, I know this don't have to be explained to you in great detail because you experienced firsthand through Joko, Lair, Dog, and plenty more. How foul them boys play. Bruh, what? Now you trying to sound like the hood Malcolm X. Why do people do that? Like, why is that the first thing that people want to work on when they go to jail? Is their vocabulary?
They ain't got nothing else to do.
You know what I'm saying? Go, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The hood, the enterprise. Nigga, come on, man. So anyway,
Criminal enterprise.
criminal. Talk about the criminal enterprise like he in a Netflix documentary. So you barely spelling sweetheart right. And now you want to give a Rico lecture from Cell Block D. This man really tried to flex vocabulary. He don't even have just to say, hey, don't snitch. It might bring heat on all of us. That is hilarious. Like, sir, excuse me, man. You worry about a RICO case while writing letters that sound like you halfway plagiarized them from Google. You already locked up. She already folded. The ship has sailed, sunk, and been auctioned off. Y'all niggas going to jail. You should have just wrote my bad and logged off. Right. You know what I'm saying? He was out here trying to sound like a hood scholar with a bumpmate and a legal path full of conspiracy theories. Now, see, this man in lost with little common sense he was hanging on to. Because
If
the
he
end
had
of the
any to
letter,
begin with.
none. Because at the end of the letter, oh, it's a full-blown jailhouse meltdown. So, right, you gotta listen to this. So, look, this is what he wrote. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna say it right. Now, if you still refuse to do the right thing as mentioned on the first page and continue with these white folks like they care anything about you, and they don't, even you know, then this will become a life-threatening issue. Bruh, what? So you sitting up in jail, writing thinly veiled threats in cursive with a bar of soap. Got the nerve to bring white folks into it? Like you wasn't the one begging for a public defender 2 pages ago? And then he really tried to clean it up like it's all love, right? He say, otherwise, there would be nothing because you are retracting your statement by finally telling the truth. Then there's no RICO conspiracy. There's not even a RICO because I had nothing to do with this supposedly criminal activity. This dude out here sounded like a jailhouse legal Zoom call going wrong. First, you claim you ain't involved. Then you admit there's criminal activity. Then you gaslight her into fixing it like she hit sent to jail by accident. You threaten her one sentence, talking unity in the next, and denying everything by the end. You ain't making no legal argument. You making a toxic mistake. And guess what? It's all admissible in court. People, it. Oh my God, jeez. And he should know this. He's a career criminal. How you don't know this, bro? Just keep on writing. The prosecutor already got your album pre-saved. So both Carmisha and Steven were both officially indicted by the Hamilton County Grand Jury on November 13th, 2013 for premeditated first-degree felony murder, especially aggravated robbery and conspiracy to commit aggravated robbery. They also hit Carmisha with additional charges for filing a false police report and tampering with evidence.
Now let's talk about Carmisha. Sis was staring at a whole life sentence in the face if she rolled the dice at trial and lost. That's right, life. As in, no brunches, no bundles, no birthdays, just child time and commissary drama. So, what are her options? She could take a 15-year plea deal, but it came with strings, big ones. She would have to testify against Stephen. And just like that, the courtroom got real quiet. Would she stay loyal to the man who manipulated her from a jail cell and blamed her for his downfall? Or would she choose herself and secure her exit from the ride or die Olympics? What would she do? Because either way, the clock was ticking and so was the prosecution. So she went ahead and said, I'm going to take the plea for $500, Alex, just a few weeks before she was scheduled to go to trial. And she had a whole lot to get off her chest.
So look, Carmisha ended up being a prosecutor's star witness. She laid everything out, point by point. Didn't miss a thing. I mean, she couldn't afford to. Because if she left anything out or tried to get slick the deal they gave her, that shit was gone, just like that. The prosecution would have pulled it faster than she could blink, and she knew it. So she played her part, testified like her freedom depended on it, because it actually did.
So the trial officially kicked off on December 8th of 2015. almost 2 years later. Well, it is 2 years later. Yeah, yeah, a long time. I don't understand why it takes them so long to go to trial. Like, let's wrap this
I
up.
d- I know, like, right. It do like 2 year for. I mean, you got all this evidence, man. Just sink they in. But I think what it is because it be all them continuances, and then a lot of times when you got a public defender, they be having all these other cases, so it be all type of stuff.
That's too long. So the letters that the couple exchanged while in jail were exposed and read for the whole world to hear. So Carmisha, she on the stand crying, snot dripping and all, but she did it. Her grandmother, Ella Lay, took the stand. She gave her version of the night's events again. She did actually recognize Stephen as she had actually met him briefly the night before the murder. He and Carmisha had come over to the house and she introduced him, and Carmisha told her that they were driving to Atlanta to go see a basketball game, which is why Granny was so confused when Carmisha was on her doorstep in the middle of the night. But she couldn't ID Stephen as one of the men from the night of the shooting. Now, after mostly testimony from Carmisha and a case stacked with circumstantial evidence, the jury went out and did what juries do: decide a man's fate. And when they came back, guilty. Stephen was convicted on December 11th, 2015. So that trial was only a couple days. They didn't waste no time with the trial. So, because we know the justice system may be slow, but when it finally locks in, it delivers eventually. So, Carmisha, she was shipped off to serve her time at the Bledsoe Correctional Facility. And she's actually scheduled for release October 11th, 2025. So, literally in 3 months, the girl is getting out. Now, Stephen, he was given a full life sentence and was sent to Hardeman County Correctional Facility. But they were not done with Stephen just yet.
Hey, look, I reached out to her, man. She ain't hit me back up. You know what I'm saying? She probably gonna hear this and try to sue us. Let me quit. So look, in 2017, the Fed decided they want to end on action. They hit Stephen with a possession of a firearm by a convicted felon charge. That right on top of the murder, which is so crazy to me. He's already got life in jail. What's the purpose of you even doing that? But they got their reasons, I guess. So now, not only is he already serving time for taking somebody's life, but he's catching another charge tied to the same incident. Bro, really out here collecting felonies like they Pokemon cards.
Stephen did file a post conviction relief motion. They were like, yeah, no. So Stephen tried to spin the block with an appeal. His argument: the prosecution shouldn't have brought up his gang affiliation and rank. The state messed up during closing arguments and that there was juror misconduct. He also claimed the jury was not properly instructed on lesser charges and that when you stack all these mistakes together, it added up to him not getting a fair trial. The court was like, we ain't trying to hear none of that. They reviewed the whole thing and said, no, we're good. Sentence affirmed. So that appeal went out the same way his freedom did: denied.
Tonight. Oh. And I know what y'all thinking, right? Because I was thinking the same thing. Whatever happened to Donkey, aka Eric McReynolds? Yeah, that brother got off scot-free. Never charged. Not a day behind bar for this case. Now remember, this is the same dude that Carmisha swore up and down was the actual trigger man. He walked. Now, he did catch a little case in 2020. He ended up with 3-year probation. But let's be real. That man slid through a murder like it was a traffic ticket. Like I was it was so crazy when we was even doing the case. I totally forgot about him. I was just focused on Steve and Carmisha. And he was the one that actually shot him. That's crazy. So
Mhm.
somehow, the one who pulled the trigger walked. The one who got manipulated did the time. Please make that make sense, Jesus. Please do.
And that right there, that's what makes this case so damn wild. The shooter's walking free. The girl who folded became the star witness. And Steven, he's serving a life sentence plus a federal gun charge for a crime they all had a hand in. It's giving disloyalty. It's giving manipulation. It's giving everybody snitching, but nobody winning. This wasn't love. It wasn't loyalty. It was a domino effect of dumb decisions that led to a body, a courtroom full of lies, and a man who thought Facebook messages and jailhouse letters would save them. They didn't.
Now he can go back to cell with his boot thing, you know what I'm saying? And they can do what they do in jail and hold pockets and I don't know. And whatever they do. So anyway, that case was crazy, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that
crazy.
that that was that was that was that
And
was
guess
that was
what?
a mess.
We the first ones to ever cover this case.
Yeah.
Yep. Told you. Hey, look, we be giving y'all some good shit. So anyway, let's go to our favorite segment called
Love, Lies, and Alibis.
All right. Here we go. What we got here, girl? What we got?
That's a good question. Hold on. Okay, so the question was, do you think some people mistake trauma bonding for love and stay because it feels familiar, not because it feels safe?
Oh, I gotta go first. Trauma bonding for love. Okay, hold on. Do you think some people mistake trauma bonding for love and stay because it feels familiar, not because it feels safe? I do. I think it's
The
a
one
lot of
who shall not be
relationship.
named.
Huh?
The one who shall not be named.
Oh yeah. True. I do. I think that's what it is. I think it's a lot of individuals, they don't get themselves. I just was talking to somebody about this. They don't get themselves time to heal, and they end up usually attracting the same individual, or an individual that's usually mimicking or going through what they're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Law of
And
attraction.
huh?
The law of attraction.
Yeah, there you go. And it end up being in the same situation. So yes, I do believe people do take trauma bonding and mistake it for love. You know what I'm saying? And then now both of y'all screwed up or whatever and then get help. That's why I would say this. Get yourself together. Do what Tiffany did. Tiffany took a legit time out from all the BS in the dating world to get herself together. So when she do get with her man, she's gonna be the best version of herself for him and especially for herself. So y'all need to do what Tiffany did. All right, what about you?
I mean, I think I appreciate that. I'm not really sure.
No, what you mean. That's a compliment. I said you take it to you focusing on yourself. You ain't one of those situations where you gotta be in a situation. You taking the time to work on yourself to get you together. So when you get a man, which you are, you'll be the best version
I
of
know
yourself.
that's
How is that? How was that a bad thing? Why would you even
I
have
didn't
to
say
think
it was a
about that?
bad thing. I was just like, I think, okay, well, yeah, no time soon on the man situation. Maybe next year. Maybe we'll think about it. We'll see how
You
it
said when you
goes.
turn 40.
I said maybe. Like I'm still iffy on that. I'll see when I turn 40 how I feel. I might be like, maybe we'll go another year or two. I'll see. Anyway, I absolutely think that is a real thing. People will mistake trauma bonding for love. And you will stay because in a situation because it feels familiar. Because honestly, I went through that for years. I was like, and my motto was, I'd rather deal with the bullshit that I know rather than the bullshit that I don't. And that was a very stupid way of thinking. I don't have to deal with BS if I don't want to. And I'm like, and especially if it's a toxic relationship, why are you dealing with BS that you don't have to?
True,
I'm
true.
like, because it feels like being like I don't know. We've been conditioned to believe that being single is a bad thing, and
I know, right? I think it's
yeah,
society make it feel like there's certain time frames for everything. Like you at this age you should be married. At this age you should
hmm
have kids, or at this time you
hmm
need to have. Like no, bro. Like it's nothing. Like there's nothing wrong with being by yourself. There's nothing wrong with being single. Like it's like they make it seem like it's if you're single, there's something wrong with you. Maybe I
hmm
just don't want to deal with the bullshit.
And no, literally, like at least 2 to 3 times a week, I have a conversation with my aunt about when are you going to start dating? When are you going to find a man? You know, you're getting older, and I'm like, I'm not pressed. Like I'm like, I'm enjoying my time alone. Like I look out there and I see how these men talk, and I see what people be dealing with, and I'm just like,
And look, it ain't nothing wrong with that. I would rather be in a situation where I'm by myself, living life, dealing with my own bullshit, than being in a situation, being with somebody and dealing with their bullshit on top of my bullshit and everything. Like, no, man. Sometimes it's better for you to be by yourself. It's nothing wrong with that. And for anybody to make it seem like something wrong with it, obviously something wrong with you. So
I
yeah.
say
So
that
let's.
I've heard me personally, I enjoy my peace. Like people like you don't get lonely. I'm like, first of all, I don't even have time to get lonely. Like I got so much on my plate. And that's another thing. I don't even have time for a relationship. Like that takes time, commitment, and work that I don't feel that I even feel like being bothered with. Like I'm like, get a boyfriend and do what with it?
And you
Like you
gotta
gotta feed
respect
it.
that though. You know what I'm saying? At
Yeah.
least you know that. You know what
Yeah, I'm
I'm
like,
saying?
I know my schedule and I don't have time. Like that was an issue with my last relationship and I didn't even have half as much on my plate then. And he was like, "You don't have time." And I'm
Oh,
like,
that nigga
"But I
was just
really
weird,
don't have the
man.
time to commit to somebody right now."
That nigga was weird. But anyway, let's see what they say. All right, so Amy said, Amy Garden, whatever. Yep. And when you finally leave, it's like, what have I been doing?
Literally,
Um,
it is.
yeah, Lulu said, absolutely. It happened to me before. That MF turned out to be the devil himself. Damn. Hey, look, man, we need to bring you on the show. We got to hear this story. Victoria
Speaking of,
Rose.
the pin in that, we're gonna come back to that.
Yeah, Victoria Rose. Damn, she wrote a book, Victoria. We just needed a simple ass answer.
Like
Jeez.
3 sentences, golly.
Definitely. I know I have, but didn't realize it. But once I did, I also realized that I didn't want to love, hurt, or a hurt love again. So I am on my healing journey, and the next man in that comes into my life, the one God sends, will be getting the best version of me that I ever been. Okay, there we go. That's
Yeah,
what I
and
did.
that's literally Victoria summed it up perfectly. That's the space that I'm at.
Yes. All right.
So
Oh, go ahead.
okay, so Tamara says yes, because I did this once. My sister told me that this is what she thought was going on with me. I had to sit down and think about what does this relationship align with what I want and values. And when I realized my answer was no, I cut him off. Smart. Okay, do
Okay.
one more.
Christian Marie. Damn, man.
We went through this last week. Leave Krista alone. That's my girl. Leave her alone.
You don't need all. Why she got all them names?
Because that's what she wants.
Anyway, yep. They find someone who can match their crazy and be stuck together like glue. I agree. So there we go with our love lies and alibis question of the week. Remember, we drop every Tuesday. We drop our question, so you guys can make sure that you guys comment on it. Now, I know y'all wonder, well, how do I find out the question? You got to join the Facebook group, Love Lies and Alibis, right? As you heard earlier in the program, you do have to answer 3 questions, and one of them is so simple. What do I mess up? It's names. Everybody knows that, right? And then you answer questions. You get in the group, and welcome to the what did you used to say, Tiffany?
Welcome to the shenanigans.
Welcome to the shenanigans. There you go. Know what I'm saying? So go Love Lies and Alibis. It's a Facebook group. Make sure you log on to that. And we got a BTCC Facebook group that you can log on to with
And
the
for some
shenanigans.
reason, sometimes I think when people try and find it, because I get a lot of messages and they can't find love lies and alibis. Actually, if you try and search Melanin Mysteries, it comes up that way versus searching love lies and alibis. I have no idea why, but that's how it comes up. And speaking of love lies and alibis, love lies and alibis is going to be its own official segment where we're strictly going to talk about relationships, love, alibis.
Love Lies and Alibis.
Yes, literally. So it's going to be a whole segment all on its own. Our plan is to drop that in September, and it'll be a bi-weekly episode. And as we get closer and as we get the details together for that, be on the lookout because that is in the works. That has been our plan for a long time. We do plan on doing another panel probably late in the fall. So if you want to be on this panel, we advise y'all get y'all stuff together so you can participate in the panel. So
Yes,
that is
yes. We had fun last time. Okay, so what's up? Any
we got a whole bunch of launch list stuff to do. Okay. So our live show, Melanin Mysteries, y'all sold out them VIP boxes. I appreciate y'all. 20 boxes
appreciate
was
it.
gone in literally 2 days. We appreciate y'all so much for that. So y'all should be getting your boxes this week. You will have them before the show. And if you missed the VIP boxes, that's okay because we still have virtual tickets. They're just $15. So grab your ticket so you can slide in with us. We have confirmed actually we have 2 special guests for the show. We have somebody that's going to be close to the victim as our special guest. So you'll be able to ask questions and all of that concerning the case. And like we said, everything is going to be interactive. So you'll be able to comment and talk to us in real time, as well as our love lies and alibis question. That'll all be there for you to interact with. And we have one of our BTCC members who's going to be live with us. So we can't tell you who. So make sure you pull up And speaking of BTCC, you should already know unless you're living under a rock or something, because I don't know where y'all been. But BTCC is the Black True Crime Collective that comprises us Melanin Mysteries, our sis Renee over at Melanin Mayhem, our little sisters Brittany and Deja over at A Sip of Red Rum, and our brother Arthur over at Not My Brother's Keeper. And we have been planning and planning and planning and planning our first event, and it's finally happening. Crime, Cocktails, and Canvases, October 18th, 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia. So you're asking, what the hell is that? It is going to be a live show. You're going to get 4 live cases from each podcast. On top of that, we gonna paint and we gonna sip. So the tickets, we drop the tickets in the group. So if you're in our groups, the tickets are now available. If you are traveling and you need a hotel, we have a hotel block available. All of that information will be posted in the group. I actually got to update ours, but yes, all the information will be posted in the groups. For general sales, those tickets go, like if you're not in the group but you still want to get a ticket, the link will be dropped on all of our socials on August the 1st. And I know it's a lot going on, so make sure you get your Melanin Mysteries live ticket, and then you can circle back around and get your BTCC ticket, because we got a lot going on this year. And if you feel like you can't necessarily come to Atlanta, we get it. It's no big deal, but we need y'all people in Atlanta to show up, because if we do Atlanta really good, we're going to take it to another city. So if you want to see us in y'all city, we need some support. So if you in ATL, and we have a lot of listeners in ATL, which is crazy. We have more listeners in ATL than we do anywhere else, for us anyway. So we need y'all to come and show up and show out. Okay. So we will see y'all there. And next up, I just told y'all about Love, Lies, and Alibis. What else do we got?
I think that's it.
I feel like there's something else, and I always remember.
Well, real quick, shout out to the BTCC. You know what I'm saying? That's Melanin Mayhem, of course.
I
Us
just said
Melanin
that.
Mysteries, huh? What?
I literally just said that.
Oh, well, damn, my bad. I guess I'll be paying attention.
The show
What?
don't.
What?
So, sweet Jesus, you sure don't be paying attention. But yes, I said we've been working on this event literally for like 3 months, and we still have we have everything in place. So your location will be available after you purchase your tickets. We do have general admission as well as VIP tickets for the crime cocktails and canvases. And we will see y'all there. I think that's all we got. I don't know. But be on the lookout for your VIP boxes this week, because they should be hitting your mailbox. We are closing out ticket sales August 1st. So y'all literally have until the last minute to grab your tickets for the live show. Let's say virtual is $15.
That's gonna be nice, man.
Yeah, go ahead and get them tickets. Like I said, VIP is sold out, and if you missed it, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But yep. So that's all I got. So we'll see y'all next week. You get 2. Well, if you're attending the virtual show, you get 2 cases next week. Pray for me, Jesus, as I write these 2 cases. Keep me in prayer.
All right, well, go ahead, take us out.
All right. So just always remember that love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felony.
All right. All right, y'all. That's it for this week's episode of Melanin Mystery. Now, if you want to keep up with us, we're on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Just search Melanin Mystery Podcast and hit that follow button. Now, if you want to take it a step further and get in on the behind the scenes tea, pull up to our private Facebook group called Love, Lies, and Alibis. But listen, do us all a favor. Answer the entry questions. If not, we will deny you. Faster than a broke dude in the DM. Y'all know how that go. Got a small business and looking to grow? We got limited spots for promos and partnerships. Just email us at podcast@melaninmystery.com before the inbox fills up. And last but not least, if you enjoyed the show, drop us a 5-star review or leave a comment. It helps more folks find us. And trust me, your boy trying to quit his day job eventually, so help a brother out, please. And we'll see y'all next time. Same mystery, same mess.